Ooh, have I had my eyes on this fragrance for a hot minute? Oh shoot, I even knocked it over. I was so excited. Listen, this fragrance is from the House of Latafa, and listen, I've had my eye on this for a very, very long time. The name just appealed to me. I looked at the ingredients. I questioned it a little bit because it was unisex. Finally pulled the trigger on it because I got it for 15 bucks or less on the TikTok shop. Yes, I got it from a reputable retailer that had over 10,000 sales. I did not get duped. I got it in legitimate packaging. You can see it on the community page. But enough about me and my business. What fragrance are we talking about? Strap up. It's going to be a goodie. From the House of Latafa, we have... No, that's not how we get down. Welcome to the Scent Bubble. I am your host for the afternoon. And now, from the House of Latafa, we have Liam Gray. Beautiful, nice big bottle. The packaging is great, even though I'm not an unboxer. We don't do that here. I apologize, guys. That's just, I'm a grown man. I don't care about the box. We're not collecting Funko Pops. I'm wearing my fragrances. Sometimes I might talk about the bottle, because if the bottle is standout to me, I think that that's something that people do consider, how a fragrance looks in their collection. But ultimately, we're focused on the actual fragrance and what it can do for you. But that being said, I really do like the bottle presentation of this. I think it looks grayer online. But this is just a beautiful bottle, 100 ml from the House of Latafa, Liam Gray. What are we talking about here, guys? We're talking about a unisex, fresh fragrance that's got some sweetness, some woodiness, some spiciness, aromatics, powdery. It's got a lot going on, guys, and it excites me because, listen, it's almost reminiscent right off the bat of a Dolce & Gabbana's K, okay? So why is it reminiscent of K? I distinctly smell one of my favorite notes in fragrance. Now, you guys have heard me say this a lot. I'm not the biggest fan of fig, or not, the heck am I talking about? I'm a huge fan of fig. I'm not the biggest fan of sweet fragrances. I like my fragrances to be woody, earthy, inky, citrusy, smoky. You know what I mean? I like manly attributes, leathery, mineralic. This is not that. This is more floral, sweet, powdery, aromatic. It does have a woodiness to it, which is what I think is kind of anchoring it to being something that would be in my wheelhouse. But, you know, if you guys have smelled Dolce & Gabbana K, it's got a strong note of fig. It's almost got this kind of Palo Santo fig, like upscale barbershop, shaving cream, shaving beard oil, upper room, playing poker and betting on, you know, high stakes betting on sports, super well groomed men. It's just got that kind of frothy, like Palo Santo and fig kind of vibe to it. But it's woody in this case. So it's kind of like, this is almost like a dialed down version. A lot of people think Dolce & Gabbana's K is very strong and too sweet. Liam Gray dials it back a little bit to project some more spices and woods up front and kind of comes off a little more airy and floral. But I think this has a little more dimension even to it than Dolce & Gabbana's K. Let's go ahead and pull up the window here, guys, so you can see. Yeah, online the bottle looks a lot lighter, but in person, if you look on my webcam here, it's a little darker than that. Let's see what we're dealing with as far as the DNA is concerned. And yes, up top we've got cardamom, fig, and black tea. Guys, if you want to tug at my heartstrings, put fig and black tea, vetiver, and iris in the same conversation, and I'm buying the bottle every single time. Fig and black tea is very reminiscent of Banana Republic's Vintage Green. From that standpoint, this very much has a bit of that similarity with the tea note in the fig being in the heart of that Banana Republic fragrance. this is on the top, and it really stays with the fragrance as well. Dolce & Gabbana's K has that really strong fig note as well. The beauty in the mid, I mean, look at this. It's got that iris. I would say this is definitely powdery iris light, not dusty iris. Powdery thick iris, but slightly lighter than like a Dior Homme, but very strong presence of iris working together with that fig. Then we've got the vetiver. You guys always know this. I'm going to be an echo machine. I don't like to sugarcoat stuff, and I don't like to make up new words and new descriptions. I like to, I hopefully by the time you guys watch this channel enough, you guys will, know all of my phrases and sayings. But I always tell people, vetiver is the complexity of a fragrance. It can be rendered so many different ways, but because it's so earthy, it always adds dimension of complexity and class and sophistication to a fragrance. It's normally in the base to achieve this, but I don't mind at all that it's in the heart of this fragrance. And then in the base, they went almost entirely sweet with that vanilla sandalwood tonka bean, a little bit of earthiness from the patchouli. Yeah, these are just, I mean, they took a very safe, conservative base. We've seen this base before, but they just drenched it in sophistication. I think they had to do that because just from cardamom, fig, and iris and labdanum and vanilla, you got to start filtering those notes and get out of the super sweet category. This is still pretty sweet. It rides the fine line between being too sweet, but this is more so 6 out of 10 sweet, maybe 5 to 6 out of 10 sweet. So it's about to jump out of the window for me, but that vetiver, that tea, that cardamom, the patchouli, sandalwood does stick its nose into it. Not all the way, so I do believe this is probably the truest form of a unisex fragrance. I don't think it leans feminine or masculine. I think it's just one of those things where if a woman's wearing it, it will lean feminine. If a man's wearing it, it will lean masculine. The fragrance will assume the aura and aesthetic and even scent profile of the person and of the skin that it's sitting on. I don't think it leans either way. I do think for a man, you're not going to get masculine points here. This is for the grown man who is sophisticated and wants to showcase the fact that not all of his fragrances are fresh citrus, fresh spice, fresh woody, leathery. It's just kind of like we know the usual suspects for male fragrances. And this is kind of that softness to the man that just kind of makes him more well-rounded in terms of his taste as a man. It's still got masculinity, but it's almost like the equivalent of when a guy puts his dress slacks on and instead of traditionally going with his navy blue shirt and tie, going with that something very ordinary and regular, or like a white dress shirt with a black tie, or a red dress shirt with a black tie or red tie. No, this is when he puts on his light khaki dress slacks, puts the black belt on, and maybe goes with a light pink or light salmon type of dress shirt, or like a light purple with black tie type of vibe, or starts messing with his pastels. You know what I'm saying? Like just going to a place of depth. This man is comfortable in his own skin to be able to explore florals a little bit, explore sweet, but it's still restrained. It's not just, oh, he's just grabbing sugary fragrances because he's a sugary kind of guy. No, he puts it together so that he knows the time and place to soften it up. This man is going to choose Liam Gray for very particular settings. This is a certain type of date where you're not outdoors, you're indoors. You might be at a museum. You might be at like a funplex where you're playing games or putt-putt golf or something, but you're indoors. You're at the cigar lounge. You might be having a drink. This fragrance at the bar would go crazy. People would be wondering who the heck's smelling so good. This is a cocktail hour fragrance. This is a study hall fragrance. You're going to study with some girl or whatever, and you want to be impressive, but you don't want to be just man juice all over the library or the study place. You want to soften up a bit. She's gonna be like, "Oh shoot, okay, like look at you." So yeah, it's got all the elements a man should have in a fragrance. I feel it's got the woodiness and spiciness for that masculinity, but you're softening up with the sweetness. It's got complexity to it. Every time you go to the fragrance, you smell a different angle to it. First you smell woody, then you smell fig, then you smell tea, then you smell cardamom, and you just go on a dance. Oh, you smell some vetiver, you smell some woods, earthiness. That's always a great thing for a woman, to have to get up close and personal. That iris is very much there. Women love the note of iris. For all my men out there are Dior Homme lovers. It's not for everybody, but a good majority of men unanimously would say Dior Homme Intense and Parfum are some of the greatest fragrances ever made for a man. But yeah, it just has so much dimension to it. I think this fragrance fits everything above casual. It sits right in the middle of casual and seriousness, semi-formal, or it can go romantic. It can go slightly playful. It could even slightly dip down to casual, but it's not a gym fragrance. It could be an errand running fragrance. As far as the sprays, I got this fragrance. I think you guys can get it retail for about $20 to $25. Again, on the TikTok shop, I got another $10 coupon for just writing a review for my last purchase. So I wound up getting this for $15 from a reputable house. Or from a reputable seller, retailer. Projection is pretty loud. Not quite beast mode, but 6 or 7 out of 10. Scent trail is absolutely trailing. Longevity, I'm going to put this around the 6 to 8 hour mark, but I think that's around 6 sprays. If you go 8 to 10 on a fragrance like this is going to go the entire day without question. This will sit on clothes very nicely. I think you have to start with a fragrance like this on 6 sprays and then dial in from there. If you're aerating a lot, take it up to maybe 8. If you're not aerating a lot, you're indoors a lot, definitely tone down and start with 6 and work your way up or down based off how you feel. This might be a really good fragrance to like mix something like Star Walker by Mont Blanc, or just like some kind of really dry woody fragrance might kind of tone this out, where you hit yourself with 4 sprays and then maybe 2 of something really woody and dry. If you want to kind of make this dressed up to be a little more masculine. Ageless fragrance to me personally, I think this fragrance could go ageless. I think it could also go any season, any reason, except for high heat. Once you start hitting above 80 degrees, you gotta get off this. This is a fall and winter fragrance that I think during the spring and summer can only be worn indoors in an intimate setting where you're aerating. I think personally in my collection, this falls in line with fragrances like Dior Homme. If we're talking clones, we're talking Gary's Den. I'm just kind of like looking at my fragrances. Cedrat Essence. Dolce & Gabbana K. Has a touch reminiscence of vintage radio. Maybe even some of the floral fragrances from Louis Vuitton. It's just different. It's got a nice dimension to it. It's almost like if Dior Homme and Dolce & Gabbana K Parfum had a baby. I think that encapsulates this, summarizes this perfectly. Dior Homme intense. So DHI had a baby with Dolce & Gabbana's K Parfum and gave it a little more woodiness. 100%. 100%, guys. I hope this review was helpful for you guys. Hope I didn't leave anything out. This is going to play a wonderful position in my collection. I think if you're somebody who lives in predominantly warm weather like me in Arizona, you're going to have to find excuses to wear this because this is not a high heat fragrance. But definitely if I'm indoors or going out to eat with the wifey or something, I'm throwing this on. I just really love the note of fig and tea personally. So I might chill on the trigger finger with this. I might first try it at 4 to 6 sprays, and then I might try to put a little bit of masculinity in here. Maybe hit it with some Off Non-Supremacy in Heaven. Maybe hit it with some Ganymede. Maybe hit it with some like maybe one of the Lalique fragrances because it's got a little more vetiver in it. Yeah, maybe hit it with what was that fragrance I just did? Star Walker from Mont Blanc. There's so many things you could do with this. It's versatile. But anyway, yeah, I hope this was helpful for you guys. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on that notification bell so you can see us dropping videos every single day, as well as participating on the community tab. Guys, I interact with people a lot on the community tab. So one way you can kind of give back is like, comment, and subscribe, obviously. But you can interact and contribute to the conversation of fragrance on the community tab. And also check out my shorts. I drop shorts like every other day with really where I kind of consolidate my long form content videos into like little snap 60-second clips of, hey, this is the better clone, or comparing fragrances, or telling you certain tips and tricks for certain seasons. You know, again, nice little snack size ways for you guys to get resourced up on the conversation of fragrance and make sure you have all the tools available to you to cop some good fragrances and to enjoy your fragrance journey that much more. Hey, I love you guys. Have a blessed week. I will talk to you soon. Peace.